boy, what's up, Closeteers? It is the 21st birthday of the Jankity-Ass Podcast. We're finally old enough to drink. I mean, I've been for a while. Too long, actually. Which is funny, because I remember being back in... You know what? I just realized this hat looks like I'm wearing a do-rag, so... Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just not... It ain't me. Here, we'll go. We'll go Hick style. So you can see my beautiful eyes. But, it's funny, I remember being in college. We'd have the, you go to some of the bars around campus. And now, I was never one of the people who, did the whole business with a fake ID. I just waited, Plus at the time, my friends kind of changed out here and there. And well, no, actually, in my sophomore years, I was just going to house parties anyway, so I didn't need it, right? But I remember some of my other buddies was telling me that. Some of my other buddies was telling me, that's the weird thing about a Midwest accent. You get a little bit from, all the different areas. But anyways, I remember, some of my friends were telling me that it would always be funny. You'd see people at the campus bars. I say campus bar. Obviously, it's not a real campus bar, but you know what I mean. It's in the neighborhood. They go to the local school bars, and it'd be people that you see there, every week for like a year, and then all of a sudden it's their 21st birthday. But that's just the way shit goes. This looks like it's gonna fall off any second now. But anyways, I wouldn't know about that because, I waited. And plus, everyone I knew who did like the whole fake ID thing, most of them got scammed or screwed in some way or another. So, I kind of got out of that. But anyways, other than that, this weekend's kind of sucked for me. Honestly, I know I told you guys about my, I was still having problems with my ankle. I'm pretty sure I sprained it or something like that. Well, I got wrenched pretty good again this weekend, so I've been kind of down and out for a couple. It really sucked because, one of my biggest money-making days is Sunday night, and of course I couldn't do that. But I don't know. I'm getting better, and I decided I'm gonna do ice even more now because it's pretty clear. I definitely have ligament damage, and because my mobility isn't really well. Now it is. Now it kind of hurts for a while, but it's getting better. And I also went all out. I got like one of those ankle braces that's, the full plastic splint type of thing. So I don't want to, get screwed anymore. But, I did think about more, what would happen if... Now, it seems like shit seems to keep happening to me. And, as I've said before, I've had back problems in the past, so in no way take mobility issues for granted at all. But I mean, this summer's definitely been pretty bad. So and I'm kind of just glad that it's happening now when my regular goddamn, it's really late, by the way, but I'm just glad it's happening now when my regular work that, involved me standing around and, occasionally having to rush around a bit is not existent right now. Much like a lot of people's work, unfortunately. So I think I actually saw a statistic. It's, as far as, I think they're saying like something like 12 million entertainment workers are currently just out of business. And that's not even including like supporting industries, which I'm not sure exactly. Jesus fucking Christ! All right, whatever. There's a lot of people, and I'm one of them. I mean, I've been lucky enough that I've been able to do, some other work for myself. But there is a little bit of good news, though, is tomorrow, or well, I guess today, if I'm being a fucking dork, since this is after midnight, but so today be a Monday night. My venue is actually doing a if I could remember the words, I would tell you. They're doing a drive-in theater, drive-in movie type of show in the parking lot, which is obviously, not the size of crowd that, my venue is used to. But, oh my fucking God. It'd be nice if I could stop yawning. It's also a little bit colder in here because I moved some stuff around in my residence, and I put a new fan in here. As you can see, I got one of these big ass Vornado towers. Pretty damn good. Let's see, my center. There we go. It's keeping me cool because it's again, like, as you know, or you should know if you've been listening, I live in Los Angeles, and it's been like between 90 and 100 right now. It's the middle of summer, and I gotta fucking kill myself if I yawn again. This is annoying. I won't apologize though, because I don't do that. Not with this anyway. But let's see what I was saying. Anyways, they're doing a drive-in type of thing, and it's just one, and they didn't really need a lot of people, and I saw the email. I didn't see the email until a little bit later, so I held it in that time. I didn't see the email, or I didn't make the list, unfortunately, but, wow, I'm gonna yawn again. Not doing it. It's a trial run, so if it goes well, there's going to be more shows like this in the future and more opportunities, which would be nice, because it would be nice to finally get back to some form of work where I'm not, spending gas, so to speak. Which, I'll still be doing that as well. I don't know, just more better. It would also be nice to go back to, having some form of job where I don't have to take out my own taxes. So that's always kind of a pain in the ass, but anywho, let's see, some other upkeeping type of stuff is I'm going back home to South Dakota in the beginning of September here for one of my buddies is getting married. And, well, first of all, South Dakota isn't, very populated, so there's no issue with that. And of course, a lot of people have, King bowed out because of, COVID reasons. So it'll be, attendance won't be, it just won't be that bad. But I'm going because I already had the ticket, and they had this pledging. I guess English isn't my first. Oh, fuck. You know what? English actually wasn't my first language. When I was a little kid, I was born here in the U.S., and then my parents moved down to, God, why can't I remember? Well, Central America. Oh, fuck me. I wish someone would. But yeah, my parents moved down to Central America until I was about 2, and then we eventually moved back up here when my dad got a real job. So technically my first language was actually Spanish, but only up to, like, nothing significant, right? And then, of course, we moved to the Midwest, which was the least Spanish anything that they could find, I guess. And for my dad, it was, I'm going to turn this thing on. There we go. For my dad, it was actually the moving back home, kind of, but, I mean, it worked out for us. But it's also not the future I want for myself. I want my lineage of my family to be, here in LA, and hopefully successful. I mean, I want to believe that I can make something work, because I'm not stupid. It has taken me longer to figure some things out, like, just kind of the way, life and business works. But, I'm hopefully not much longer. So we'll see. Especially once things open back up again and, entertainment is a thing again. Ooh. A little squishy. I'm not sick either. I always get stuffy. I always got something going on. A little dusty. But, oh yeah, so I'm going to be flying back home. I'm going to be gone for like a week and a half, so it's going to be this episode. I have one more episode next week. I'm not taking any of my recording shit home either, and plus, I don't want to be, I don't need, coming in like, oh, what are you doing? Like, I'm fucking recording, Mom. I mean, it's already, she already manages to call me every time I'm in the middle of something. Never fails. But, yeah, so I'm just not even, I'm not gonna try. I mean, I'll obviously still have my phone with me, so you'll still see some, Instagram shit, but, yeah. So, yeah. After this week, we'll get one more episode, and then it's gonna have a week off, and then I might be able to get one more, another quickie episode after that, because I come in, or I get back home on a Monday, or was it a Tuesday? Yeah, I fly back on a Monday night, so I'll have time to maybe get like a small one, or maybe I'll just take that week off too. I don't know. We'll see. No, you know what? I better not, because I'm paying for hosting service, so better to get, or well, maybe the following one will just be longer. That might not be a bad solution. We'll see. Let's see what else have I been doing. I did tell you guys that forget that. Well, one of the things that, maybe I got a little paranoid, but, after having, problems with my ankle again, like I said, like I was trying to say earlier, I've been thinking about, just what's more better way to, manage my cash. And I unfortunately decided that I have to cancel out my Tab Hour subscription, which does not mean that I'm not going to be, getting drinks to show you, or beers to show you guys. It just means that I won't have like an automatic billing of $100 every 3 months. I don't need that. But I'm still going to be able to, just pick out, a few things here and there. It'll just be a smaller box. That's just what I'll do. It'll just be less. And, yeah, that's how I'll proceed. Because, I mean, obviously part of the reason is for my enjoyment. But, I mean, I also, it's nice because I also want to be able to, show off some stuff as well. And I realize not everybody's a beer lover. I don't care about you in that case. So, to that extent. I got one big one here that I've been saving for a little bit. Okay, I've actually been... Well, first of all, you can see it's in a bottle with a wax seal. So this guy actually cost me $30. Right, so it's pretty big. It's a limited release, aged in 2019. So this thing's been in a bottle for a bit. It's a Fremont company, because beer matters. Yes, it does. Weird. Oh, side note, I have been getting DMs, but I haven't been getting any from real people yet. So, you know, keep them coming. Keep subscribing. Be a fan or something like that. Anyways, this is... Here, I'll just show you here. That's the label. Nice and old-timey. Is the barrel-aged Dark Star from the Fremont Brewing Company. Got a pick of a dragon and some wheat. Not bad. It is chocolate, vanilla, and maple syrup brew. Now, this fucking guy... Okay, Fremont Brewing, Seattle, Washington. Go check it out. I've been afraid to try that. I've been generally afraid to bust this thing out because it is 13.1%. And quite frankly, I'm not even sure how to get this fucker open. Shit. Where's my keys? Here we go. Now, in order to try this, I'm not... Come on. There is a fuckload of wax on this thing. And I'm gonna be... Ooh, I can smell a little bit already. That smells good. It smells like a shake almost. There we go. That was really good. It's strong as fuck though too. That's almost a liquor. Anyways, like I said, there's absolutely no way that I'm gonna be able to finish this in one sitting. So there's definitely gonna be some saran wrap in my future. Or actually, no, I've got some wine stoppers that I can use. And since I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be chugging this straight from the bottle, so I whipped out my old Stella glass, which is actually kind of, what's ironic is that I actually don't have any idea where this glass came from. It's just, as roommates come and go, it's been sitting in my drawer for a while. So, oh yeah. Let me get a little bit more. Here. Set this guy here. Alright, here we go. Dark Star, barrel aged. Fremont Brewing. Over 30%. This is gonna knock my socks off probably. Jesus Christ. Wow. This shit is surprisingly smooth for being a third. Oh, and it's burning on the way down. Yep, there it is. I will say this. I'm glad it's more down here in my body. I was going to say in my throat, but more in my chest. I taste it more in my chest than I do on my tongue, and which is good because I'm not a huge fan of like really bitter stuff, so. Sorry, I think I'm about to sneeze. Was sick. Ooh. The beer. That's just my own bullshit. But yeah, man. So, unfortunately this is a limited release, so you're probably not gonna see this again unless they do like another run in like a year from now or something like that. But Fremont Brewing out of Seattle, Washington. And that's the nice thing that I like about the Tav Hour service is that a lot, well, I've mentioned this before, but a lot of stuff comes from breweries that are, from mostly around the U.S., and they're from breweries that don't have a system yet. They're not big enough to ship nationwide. So, it's just a good way to, it's like collecting art, I guess, or understanding art. The world is always better when you can share and cultivate, arts and ideas, and that's just kind of what this is. Tavar lets me take in the bumbling fucking beer art from around the U.S. and sometimes around the world, even occasionally. But those are the really expensive bottles. I don't mess with that. I don't have that kind of cash, obviously. Or maybe I do, but yeah, I'm not willing to spend on that just yet. And then I get to share them with you guys, all 0 of you. Hopefully there will be more of you eventually soon. And I think once I don't know why I'm saying this to nobody, but once I finish with my first hobby video, then I'm just gonna like put them both together and go fully public with like everybody I know. But that's some good shit. Wow, we're already at 20 minutes already. All I've been doing is just babbling like a fucking moron. So, I'm assuming that you've all seen The Matrix by now. So you know what I mean when I talk about getting red-pilled. As you can remember from the movie, the original movie, not the newer ones, or whatever, which actually, there's a number 4 coming out pretty soon here. Apparently, well, actually, it's probably not going to be till like next year. It's in the works. And I guess it's going to have everybody again. I don't know how, especially considering that Keanu's character died in oh wow, I'm still fucking yawning again. Anyways, he died at the end of the 3rd movie, so we'll see what happens. But so in the movie, whenever Neo, who is Keanu's character, gets introduced to the idea of the Matrix, Morpheus, played by the amazing Lauren. I was trying to figure out a good complimentary word for that starts with an L, but I don't know. The luscious Lawrence Fishburne, maybe. No, that's weird. But anyways, he presents them with the choice. So you can either take this blue pill, or they're in the Matrix, so they're in the simulation. Says you can take this blue pill and go back to your life, or you can take the red pill and be awake and be the Matrix. So there you go, red pill. Whenever people talk about being red pilled, it's usually talking about conspiracies and such. And they'll use the term, like, if somebody's, like, suddenly just, like, gets into conspiracies, they'll say, like, oh, he got red-pilled, or whatever. But then, of course, a lot of times, well, people aren't into all these kind of ideas, especially not, so sudden and jarring. And, their brain melts, as they say. So why am I talking about this? Because something that a lot of people have been seeing is, well, So I'm not, well, speaking of conspiracies, I'm not going to get into it, but, so one of the, major conspiracies surrounding Trump is our unfortunately President Trump. That's where I stand. Fuck you guys. So is the QAnon conspiracy where he's supposedly doing all this shit to fight some secret shadow war against, like, you know, the deep state and the pedophiles or whatever, which is of course bullshit because he wouldn't keep his own things a secret. That's fucking stupid. But this morning was the second time that a quote unquote celebrity that I follow on Instagram has, you know, all of a sudden just, like, you know, had the old mental snap, and they went ahead and posted some shit like, I'm gonna be voting for Trump because he's done more for this country than any other president, which is bullshit, by the way. And it's just like, what happened? You know, like, first, it's funny, literally this person said, like, last time I voted for Hillary, I didn't do my research, and she turned out to be, you know, worthless, obviously, which is true. And then followed with, like, this time around, I'm voting for Trump because he's done more for this country than ever. And, of course, my first thought was like, oh, so you fucked up twice, right? And I didn't even say that. Everybody else in the world did it for me, unfortunately. Actually, I wonder if this, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and read it without saying any names. Of course, if I can find it. Let me. Still waiting to get some DMs from y'all, by the way. Oh, unrelated. I hate when people. Another big problem that we have is tribal mentality, where people want to just, like, break into groups and then only serve the interests of those groups, which is not, you know, how the world's supposed to work. And actually, here we go. Yes, here. So, okay, let me finish this off first. So, I'm sure you guys remember me talking about the difference between the individual self and the communal self. Well, that actually kind of really ties in with politics as well, because now this isn't something that's, like, outwardly claimed or really recognized or even understood, but that looks weird. You look at conservative politics. They very often primarily serve the individual self. And usually they only serve the types of individual selves of those who are in power making those decisions, obviously. Whereas liberal politics will usually end up attempting to serve the communal self, right? Or, well, I guess more like the community as a whole, whereas the self is being the U.S. nation as a whole, right? And then, of course, the problem being there is if that's all you focus on, then a lot of times your policies end up attempting to destroy individuals who, well, really don't need to be. You know what I mean? So that's, you know, that it's the same thing. It's the balance is the key, but, you know, we're completely out of whack right now. Anyways, this is a post. It says this was an Instagram post that was ported over from Twitter or whatever. This person says, I voted for Hillary Clinton because I was young and naive and didn't do my research. Quite frankly, I just hated the idea of Trump. I'm now voting for @real Donald Trump because I love America and he did more for our country in 4 years than any Democrat has in 2 terms. Facts. Well, we'll give her this. There are... Okay, first of all, facts. Fuck you, right? I don't just unfollow people either for stupid things, because they eventually will just kind of swing back around to normalcy. But actually, and like I said, this is kind of like just out of the blue, right? And this is a rather conservative person who likes to post about there a lot of dogs over people type of things, if you understand what I'm talking about, and underlying isolationism, which is again made to serve, which is again policy serving the individual self at the expense really of the communal self, but then going back and trying to make a decision upon the communal when you don't want to be a part of it, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's I will eventually write these down. Right now I'm just babbling on. What the fuck was I? Yeah. Some of these comments were fun, like, still seem pretty naive to me. Guess you still didn't start doing research, huh? See, you really want to lose your fan base. Oh, yeah, and it's so the thing about Trump is, I mean, I'm not the first person to say this. Actually, I was just listening to the Tim Dillon show with the comedian Tim Dillon. I'm a big fan. And, well, the way he put it, quite eloquently, is, if you go out onto the street and you see the guy who is hustling people for money by playing 3-card Monty, well, Trump is at the very top level of that. He's a literal grifter. He's a fucking con man. That's all he is. He hasn't done everything that he said he's going to do has not come to pass at all. So, there's no wall. There's no anything really. You know what? There's no. I'm not gonna make the argument now, but it's, well, I'm not gonna try to look for it now. Maybe later, but yeah, it's all just bullshit and lies. And then it's always funny whenever someone comes on, like, well, I mean, he's done everything he said he's gonna do. It. Like, really? Like what? How about, again, the fucking wall? What did he do? He built, like, a quarter mile of it, and it fell over. That's it. That doesn't, I mean, I guess he built a wall, kinda, technically. I mean, obviously he didn't go out there and lay any bricks or anything like that. He just contracted a bunch of companies to build some demos, and then it fucking fell over. And then also, and the thing is, there already is, like, a partial border wall, but I mean, that doesn't mean anything, because your criminals and stuff, they either just build over it, or in the case of illegals, it's usually just people who fly over or come over legally on a work visa and then just stay. That's it. Some fucking wall. It's not going to do anything. It's just another classic. The whole wall idea and the way that they've been handling things at the border with, separating families and all that bullshit is just more of the same, not actually handling the problem bullshit. They're just putting Band-Aid after Band-Aid after Band-Aid. It's like whenever you go and get your car registered and you just keep putting the sticker for the next year over top of the one last year. Mine's 6 layers thick now already. I should probably start peeling some of that off, but yeah, that's all I'm really gonna deal with that. As you can see, I went with the mask today, at least for a little bit. I drove down to Long Beach to the Affliction store and bought one of their Sullen brand masks. Not an ad. They don't need my... well, you know what? Maybe they do. I'm giving them a shout out anyway. Fuck it. If I would love to, you know... I've worn this shit I've worn Affliction stuff for quite some time, and I try to be tasteful about it too. I don't go for like the really tacky stuff. I did a little bit at the beginning, you know. I did have a couple things with like metal studs, but that doesn't always work out. I try to go for, you know, some slightly more metalist stuff. I just tasteful, and well, I haven't been a big fan of like some of the lines that they've been putting out. Like, I know they've done a lot of they have like a lot of Chris Kyle themed stuff. That's kind of more of like a support the troops sort of deal. And I think they do actually for their proceeds to it was like VA programs or something like that, which is good. But I mean, it would just be a little hypocritical of me to, you know, wear a shirt around with like a fucking M16 when I, you know, A, haven't ever served, and B, don't really support war. Troops, yes. War, no. It's always good to support, you know, having people's family and all that stuff, you know, coming back, but you don't have to support the reasons that they actually went out there, right? And then, of course, you know, the other big thing that they've been doing a lot is, you know, motorcycles and stuff, which, again, is just, it's not anything to do with me. So that's fine. But one thing that's cool is that they've also expanded and done, like, other side brands. They did this one, Sullen, which is kind of more like a, it's like a classic tattooist art themed stuff. And I think they have guest artists actually come and do some of their work, or at least or else they just like hired more artists. They also have their American Fighter brand, which is kind of more geared towards, you know, mixed martial arts fans. I have a couple of their things. Let's see, and then they also started the Howitzer brand, which is another, you know, support the troops inspired thing, which I didn't actually know the first time around. But, you know, if it good for them, I guess, you know. And let's see, they had another one too. Oh yeah, they had another motorcycle themed brand. It was the Easy Rider. It's more kind of like 70s grungy, bikery type of stuff, culture wise. And then they actually have another new brand that I wasn't really aware of. I don't remember what it was called. It was like Good Times or High Times or something like that. And like it has a bunch of like weird grotesques, like pizzas with eyes and shit. I don't know. It's more for like, you know, if you want to get high or something like that. So I'm not doing right now because, well, I'm not. Maybe later. So, let's see. I do have a little bit of, you know what? I'm gonna save the articles for later because I did take I took an edible and I'm already feeling it, and I like being a little bit more lucid for those, just because I have to go through notes more. But you know, this time I'm not gonna do that. I did decide to you know, kind of dive into Netflix and check out some movies that have been sitting in their library for a bit. And I found a couple of good ones that I figured I might as well go ahead and share with you. Bring them out of the, dust them off. I'm not sure what I was trying to go for there, but first one that I saw, or I just finished a little bit ago actually, that was pretty good, was the movie Heist. It's basically about some guys who, well, the very short version, I'm not going to tell you the whole movie. You know, do your own fucking work, go see it yourself. But, you know, maybe if I'm going to talk about something, I should actually I don't know why I don't have the IMDb app yet, but IMDb, or I did, and I took it off for some reason, but, okay. Heist. So, no, it's not any of these. Here we go. This came out in 2015. No, I don't want the, okay. I will read the description, however. A father, it was without the means to pay for his daughter's medical treatment. As a last resort, he partners with a greedy coworker to rob a casino. When things go awry, they're forced to hijack a city bus. And then chaos ensues from there. Now, it is a pretty, it's kind of a straightforward movie, but what I liked about this movie is it actually had a couple twists in there that, like, I'm pretty good at, you know, figuring out where a story's gonna go. But there were some legitimate twists that they threw in there that I did not see coming. And it was also, and it worked because they didn't, whatchamacallit, they didn't, like, foreshadow things that were gonna happen at all. Threw it in there, like, all of a sudden there would just be, you know, a wrench in the storyline, and then they would, you know, backtrack and show you the things that they didn't show you before. So, and it worked. It was actually pretty cool. And what makes this movie so good is that they actually they got a all right, I'm about to use a real bitch-ass Hollywood term that I don't normally like to use, but a star-studded cast. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. So, the first one, obviously note, is just a little guy known as Robert fucking De Niro. They got him for this movie. He's kind of like the bad guy. And then Jeffrey Dean, who, for those of you who were Grey's Anatomy fans way back in the day, I sure as fuck wasn't, but he was one of the main guys there. He was also he was also in a bunch of movies since, and more recently he played Negan in what was it called, The Walking Dead. Which I didn't really watch that either much, just because of other things. I think I've already talked about it before. But yeah, he was the guy who bashed someone's head in with a baseball bat. Fun. And that's just the first two. After that, Dave Bautista was in there. You may know him from, I believe he was in the WWE, but well, he's been in a slew of movies recently, most notably playing Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy of Marvel notoriety. Let's see. And then beyond that, there's still some more, like, big actors and actresses. They had Kate Bosworth played more of a supporting character. She was relative to Jeffrey Dean's character. And then one of my favorite castings was they had Gina Carano playing a one of the cops in this movie who chases after them. And you know, I know a little bit about her history, you know, in the acting world. It's been kind of up and down, and I mean, I get this is obviously like an older movie, but well, she's also come back a little bit too. She did you know, some Marvel stuff. She was in a Deadpool movie, and she was in something else that was pretty big recently. But she's been doing the thing. So it's good. And then the last kind of, there's a couple bigger characters. Morris Chestnut. He plays one of the other bad guys. And then... Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty... And then the last one of, like, the prominent cast of the movie is a gentleman known by Mark Paul Gosselaar. I don't really know him that well. But... yeah, and then a bunch of other supporting actors who were in there as well. But, you know, for me, 2 thumbs up, and it was just on Netflix. So, you know, go check it out. It was a decent movie. It really wasn't that hacky in any way. I mean, you know, what is it they say about movies? You know, everything's been done in some way, shape, or form. But they were pretty unique with this one, or at least, you know, like well presented. That's the term I'll use. It's worth a watch. Now the other movie that I oh yeah, goddamn, that's that 13%. Ooh. I better watch that down. The other movie. Wow. The other movie that I put in recently, or well, watched. I guess I didn't really watch. I didn't really put in. It was Netflix again. But I decided to watch Kill the Irishman. This is a movie. This one came out in 2011, actually, which I remember hearing about it, but I gotta be honest, I thought this came out a lot more recently. Although I might have been getting it mixed up with that other movie about It was a more recent one with De Niro, where they did like all the de-aging with everybody. Why the fuck can't I remember it? I don't know, whatever. It was the movie about Jimmy Hoffa, right? I don't know. It'll come to me, or maybe it'll come to you. But anyways, this movie is about. It's apparently true, completely, and they actually used like a bit of like actual news footage, but it's the story of Danny Green, who was a he was basically the Irish mob in Cleveland, Ohio, during the 1970s. Which is more, it's not exactly verbatim the description that they have on here, but it's pretty close enough. And well, yeah, so it's basically about a guy, you know, he makes a name for himself and basically becomes the Irish version of organized crime there at the time. And it's... Well, there is like a little bit, and well, basically it's a biopic movie, right? So it does kind of move, you know, through stages of time kind of fast. Like there's no in-between life moments, but I know I thought this movie did pretty good. And, well, the main hero is, I don't know. What happens with the main hero is not what usually happens in a movie. And speaking of main heroes, for guessing who's cast in it, our old boy Ray Stevenson is back. He plays Danny Green in this movie. They had him grow out his curls and a big old mustache, and he basically plays a big old Irish man. It's good times. And then they also got Vincent D'Onofrio in there, who you might know from the old Law and Order. Not SVU, but not Criminal Intentions either. But I think it was just the regular one. But yeah, he was the cop there. And he also did a bunch of cool things. Val Kilmer is in there for a little bit. And our boy Christopher Walken is he puts in some work in this movie, and there's actually quite a bit of other people notable for me, at least. Old Vinnie Jones comes from a lot of Guy Ritchie movies, and yeah, just a few others. But yeah, that one also is just it's a good fun movie. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna I have articles, but I'm just gonna do them in a little bit, or I'm gonna do them after I record this. But you're probably it before I tell it to you now. And, well, that's your job to figure out. And it's just my job to do. So, do your own work. And I'll see you again in a bit. Anyway. A little hot in there. So I figured I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of post-apocalypse with you guys in. Alright. Maybe one day in the future I'll get a soundboard and make a sound drop or something like that. Maybe just a bomb or some shit. First article. Shooting masks onto people's faces is now possible thanks to the mask gun. So, this one was actually pretty cool. It's, this guy made a automatic launcher where you can get you put a hospital mask, cut the strings so they're elongated. Hey, I'm fucking yawning again, good God. And then each of the strings has 4 counterweights, and this thing shoots out. It's basically like a bullet launcher, but it goes around a person's face. And it wasn't perfect, obviously, but it's just for fun. So cool. Next up, and so here we go. This one's a little less fun. U.S. Army says North Korea may have up to 60 nukes and 5,000 tons of chemical weapons in its stockpile, which is a very different number from the 0 capable nukes that they were telling us that they had before Trump came in. So, that is something that we're going to have to worry about maybe in the years to come. Hopefully many years from now. But I don't know. Next up, Trump supporter trying to trigger liberals by aiming gun at his crotch ends up shooting himself in the groin. Mission accomplished, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so basically he's what he's been doing is he'll just post he's been posting a bunch of pictures of just POV and then just gun pointed at his crotch, and I guess he forgot the safety one day, and here we are. USA. Alright, this is going to be the last one. It is impossible to hate Dolly Parton. And if you don't believe me, here are 16 of her best moments. This one's a list. I'm not going to go through everything, but, maybe I'll, let's see. You know what? I'll post a link up for you guys, and I will let you all do your own work. Oh, fuck. I'm stuffing up again. What? Anyways, the point being is, I would assume that, anybody listening to my podcast is... Oh, jeez. Oh, here we go. Just bending all my shit. Oh, god damn it, that's the worst. Whenever I always get, scratchy in my throat. Even if I haven't done anything, and it's fucking annoying. But, yeah, I'm assuming that if you're listening to me, you can all read as well. And if you can read, you can see that this is, in fact, the Jankity-Ass Podcast, as seen over my right shoulder. It looks my left shoulder, but that's the camera, which is changing directions and adding pounds on me as well. So I say. Episode number 21. Thanks again for listening. I will be back next week. The following week's going to be off. No episode. And then maybe one again after that. Or maybe not. We'll see. It'll depend on how I feel. God damn it. Actually, what time is it? Oh, it's 3 o'clock. That would explain it. In the morning. 3 in the morning. I do this shit late. But, hopefully I come back home safe for my own trip. Hopefully the plane doesn't go down. And hopefully there'll be more of you listening in the following weeks.